Have you ever felt like everyone else has more money than you? Are you worried that you're falling behind? I'm going to give you some scary facts, but I'm also going to clarify some misconceptions you might have about how much money you are making and how much money you think other people around you are making.
The truth is that it's a lot more than what most people think.
You may actually be richer than you think, but do you know how you compare to others? Look, I run multiple small businesses, and when I got started, I promised myself that I was gonna pay my people at least enough to be above average starting off. But in order for me to be able to hold this promise, I need to know how much other people are making, because it is important to me to be able to hold my own promise. Today I'm going to share what I just found out because I just ran the numbers and I want to share them with you so you can compare to see where you stand. So make sure you watch the whole video because I'm gonna share with you what I found out, but I'm also gonna share how I got to these numbers so you can do the same maybe in a year from now, 2 years from now, so you can also keep track of your own progress. Knowing what others are making based on their age and experience can give you the tools to negotiate better salaries and to also be better prepared to evaluate your own progress. First, let's get something out of the way.
What you see in social media is a pile of poo-poo. That is not a place to go and gauge your own life and your progress. The fact of the matter is that most of what you see in social media is all facades and people pretending to be wealthy. But let me tell you something. Most of those people are either broke or at least they're not actually ahead of where you are now. Not by a long shot. How do I know this? Well, I employ or have employed some of these people that I know that if you look at their social media accounts, it's a complete different story from what their reality is. If you look at their social media accounts, you might think that they are actual millionaires. And I'm not talking crap about people that like posting on social media and they like to show off their accomplishments or their achievements. That's not the point. The point is that people should not use social media to evaluate their own financial situation or their progress. The same message goes to people that want to keep up with the Jones and their neighbors and people around them. No, don't use social media or other people's situation to really gauge where you are, especially if you don't know the facts. Now, let's get started. We're going to break this into 3 groups based on age. For group 1, it's going to be for individuals between 20 and 35 years old. For group 2, it's going to be from 35 to 50 years old. And for group 3, it's going to be for individuals between 50 and 65. These are 15-year increments because the difference between lower time frames was too little to really count. So let's jump into group 1. Group 1 is from 20 to 35. The average income for individuals in this range is about $48,000 a year. This group is usually the starting point for most people getting into the workforce. The main goal for this group is to gain as many skills as possible and to develop their own path to follow as a career. For this age range, most workers are considered entry-level positions, and it is the time to create a vision of where you want to go in life. If you are short from the average, then you should work on this. Number 1 will be your skills. Number 2 will be developing your own career. Number 3 will be savings plan. Number 4 will be taking risks or more risks. Calculated risk, but this is definitely the time to explore other ways to boost your income by taking some riskier endeavors. Look, one more thing needing clarification before we move on. Income across all age groups refers to all incomes, not just salary. For example, any side gigs, investment incomes, or second jobs will be part of this category of income assigned to each age group. If you are already ahead of the average, then you should feel pretty proud of what you have accomplished so far, but also focus on continuing getting ahead and really boost your progress from this point on. The goal is to make sure that you can keep track of your progress so you can get ahead, not just aim to beat the average or be average. Now, for group 2, between 35 years old and 50 years old. The average income for individuals is about $73,000 a year. This group usually represents middle level to upper managers. And usually this is the time to establish a long-term working relationship with the company. So committing to a career. By now, your skills and your expertise is the driving force behind your salary and your income. This time frame usually marks the time to really focus on your investments and planning for your retirement. Hopefully you have been doing that for much longer than this, but if not, this is really the time to kick your planning into overdrive and really start making smart moves to protect your future you. If you're short from the average or falling behind, then you should focus on these. Number one will be your career advancement or changing jobs. Don't be afraid to look for other jobs that offer better pay for the expertise and experience that you have accumulated over the past and you bring to the table. Something many people fail to realize and take advantage of is changing industry. Many of the skills that you now have and have developed over time can also be translated into other industries. By now, most likely you know how to manage processes, how to manage people, and sometimes you have the experience to even manage a full organization. If you're not getting the compensation that you deserve for the value that you bring to the table, then definitely consider this as an option. The next group is the 50 to 65. If you are in this age group, the average person is making about $82,000 a year. By now, it is likely that you are part of upper management or even the executive team. Not always, but with your experience and expertise, you probably are capable of running one of those positions. But if not, you are at least considered to be an expert in your field. Most people at this age range focus heavily in their retirement planning and being debt free. I am not suggesting you wait until you get to this age group to work on those things, but on average, people don't really focus on these subjects until they get to this age. If you are falling behind and you are part of this age group, then you should focus on the following. Number one, paying down all of your debts. Number two, maximizing your retirement accounts. Number three will be applying for higher level positions or asking for a promotion. And number four will be to hone down your management skills to the best of your abilities. This will give you the better chance to boost your income for the rest of your career. Hopefully by now, you realize that you're not as far behind as you thought. But if you are, here are some tips for you. 39% of Americans have a side business, earning them around $800 a month. So don't be afraid to start a side gig or side business to boost your income. Number two, work on your skills by taking online or in-person courses, coaching, or asking guidance from a mentor that you trust. The fastest way to increase your income is to increase the value of your skills and the skills that you offer. Next step will be to pay off your debt. Paying off your debt will allow you to enjoy more of the money that you earn, but it will also free you to be more flexible when taking risks related to starting a new position, a new business, a new idea, and even changing jobs. Tip number 5 will be to request a raise. If you are providing value for a company, you need to make sure that your skills are being compensated properly for the value that you provide. If not valuable enough yet, then refer to my tip number 2, improve your skills. By now, you should have a more clear understanding of where you stand financially, and you should know that what we see around us is mostly plain pretend or just glimpses of fake lives that most people just show off on social media. If you really want to know how much others are making and you want to compare that to what you are making, this is my process. I go on platforms like Indeed.com, LinkedIn.com, Monster.com, and Craigslist. And I search for jobs that I am qualified for, and sometimes I even apply to them. I do this to figure out what the market is looking for and how much they're willing to pay for those skills. That way, I get a better understanding of two things, okay? First, how much others are paying for the same position, and second, what skills are people looking for. I am not suggesting that you do this every month or you do it every week or anything like that. In my case, I do this every 12 months to 18 months, depending how I see inflation and all the other things in the market. So I think 12 to 18 months provides a good enough benchmark to use. One last thing. Income is only one of the factors in the equation of evaluating your own progress. If you really want to capture the whole picture and really understand where you are financially, there's another metric. I recommend you watch this video where we talk about the average net worth by age. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Let's grow together.